Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 61, the Rodney Hudson episode of the Bro Football Focus podcast. I'm Hunter. With me, as always, is Austin.
Howdy.
And Jake.
Hello.
Getting a good stretch in. And
I'm gonna make some liquid chocolate real quick.
okay. Oh,
I meant coffee, not food.
and I was just going to introduce our second fan favorite guest of all time in the fan voting, Nick Charles Huffman, but he's
that feels uncomfortable
to be gone. You can call him Chuck Huffman or Chuffman if you want. He likes all those names. Oh,
please call me absolutely none of those. Even you saying the word Nick made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
well, then what should we call you, Nick?
We just call him the Huffmeister, dude.
Yeah, I might legally change my name to that, like Kanye did to Ye.
Yeah,
It's not a
it
bad
suits
strap.
you better.
All right,
But
well,
welcome, Austin. Do you want to tell everybody why you're in a sling, or just give a little recap real quick? You don't have to break it all down.
yeah. Well, basically, I just had arthroscopic shoulder surgery
Yeah.
a couple days ago. So, yeah, if you're a repeat viewer, you probably saw an episode maybe 3 months ago where I was in a sling. So, had that fixed. Had that injury repaired.
Nice. And also, I said it a little earlier, I think you look like Edward Snowden today.
Yeah.
So,
I do feel like I'm hiding out in Russia or something right now.
yeah. Maybe when Jake's doing the edit here, he can like toss up a picture of good old Snowden next to you.
Well, people need to know the government's spying on them.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's a patriot for sure.
And you know who else is spying? The New England Patriots. But
Ooh.
the Bills practiced inside, so that didn't affect us.
Yeah, how about that old school ass whooping? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, now that Jake's back, Jake, were you disappointed in your New England Patriots?
Come on, dude.
Jake, were you proud of them to be a part of the only perfect game in NFL history where the other team scored on every single drive and didn't punt and didn't kick one field goal, and the only drive they didn't score was when they kneeled it down to win the game?
How many times
They couldn't even do that against the Jaguars.
I had to witness two hands on the ball and it not be a complete pass?
Oh, my God. What are you talking about, Jake?
You're going to blame it on the drops and not the game?
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I look at the screen, it was like drop. I'm like, okay, they're on defense now. Oh, they dropped. But how? It's just there. It's back on. It was like someone was just trolling me. Every single time I looked at the screen, drop pass. Every single goddamn time.
Well, maybe Mac Jones should take some sauce off the ball.
That's 100% of your hands touching the ball. What more do you want? Just catch the motherfucker. And every single time, ball's coming, and they're like, okay, I got this. Drop. It's just
you know who was catching it was Micah Hyde. He had probably the greatest interception I've ever seen. And I thought for sure Mac Jones just dimed up Kendrick Bourne for a touchdown, but Micah Hyde just like, if he would have took one misstep, he wouldn't have been there for the pick. Like, it was the perfect recognition and like timing to get there and make a crazy catch.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by drops, because they have elite receiving options like Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne and Gunnar Olszewski. Like, that's just
don't forget about
top-tier
Johnny
receiving.
Smith and Hunter Henry.
Listen, I don't care if you're fucking Abraham Lincoln. You're dropping the ball, you're dropping the ball.
I don't care if you're fucking Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, I don't care if you're fucking him or just in a committed relationship with Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. I don't care if you're Lee Harvey Oswald.
Dropping the ball. Yeah, I mean, even if you're Lee Harvey Oswald, dropping the ball.
Yeah.
And it's aggravating. It really is aggravating. It's just
I
like,
will say
embarrassing.
that was my favorite game I think I've ever watched.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's absurd.
Yeah, I was coming day and night.
It's absurd.
Gross.
And I think Brian Daboll may have coached his way out of Buffalo.
Yeah.
But
And
we'll
it
get
kind
to
of
that.
stinks that it's all going to be for naught. this week against the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
What are you talking about?
Well, when the Chiefs beat them.
Oh,
The Chiefs aren't going to beat the Bills, Hunter. Don't be crazy.
They have Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and Creed Humphrey.
First of all, Tyreek Hill maybe runs a 4.3 at the most right now. He's lost a step. And
I don't know.
Travis Kelce has not been the same that he used to be. Sure, he's getting 120 yards and
That's just what you tell people because you made a rape trade in fantasy football for him.
Listen. I will take Josh Allen and Dawson Knox and Isaiah McKenzie over Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce.
You didn't say Creed Humphrey.
Well, Creed Humphrey is going to get his shit kicked in by Ed Oliver.
We'll see about that.
And Big Harry
Justin
Phillips.
Zimmer.
Yeah.
it does
Justin
have
Zimmer.
Tre'Davious White though. That would be a nice little security blanket.
I believe that Tre'Davious White and Justin Zimmer are both out for the season with torn ACLs. But
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It sucks that you don't have him.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
'Cause that's
Well,
like
we have Josh Allen, who, is outrunning most running backs, and he's got a cannon for an arm, and he's just dicing people up right now.
Yeah, but Tyron the Honey Badger Matthew just running around and doing stuff. Don't the Chiefs have a white safety running around too right now? That's
You're
pretty
thinking of Daniel
Sorensen.
Sorensen.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? He's doing stuff.
Yeah,
And
Dirty
he's known for
Sorensen.
getting burned.
Yeah, the Chiefs fans have been calling for him to be benched all season because he's been getting torched.
Well, the Bills haven't had a deep speed threat since they let go of John Smoke Brown.
Well, it's funny that you say that because you haven't watched the past couple games because Isaiah McKenzie has emerged as a deep threat and like a jet sweep. We're using him kind of like Debo, just jet sweeping the shit out of him. And it's really opening up the
It's
defense.
not going to happen when Chris Jones just blasts through the line and gets him before he even touches the ball.
Hunter, you obviously haven't seen our backup center who we recently put at guard, Ryan Bates. Ryan Bates was blocking the shit out of the Patriots, and that's why Devin Singletary galloped for 2 touchdowns.
And Josh Allen would just stiff arm Chris Jones anyway.
Yeah.
I will say that is the most Austin stat to bring up. Like our second string enter on let me tell you about this guy. It's like obscure depth chart of the linemen.
You don't know the second string center on the Patriots?
Can't say I do.
I mean, on the Jags, it's Tyler Shatley.
And is he as big of a playmaker as the Bills' second string?
I'd argue he's even bigger. You can play him anywhere on the line. He can even be the swing tackle.
I wouldn't go that far. I think Ryan Bates may be a Pro Bowler next season.
Actually, I disagree.
Our second string center is better than your second string center.
Well, let's not get down that rabbit.
Maybe that can be our next bracket. Second string centers.
No, that's honestly a good idea. Like one player from every team who's like a step away from starting but isn't good enough yet.
Didn't we do that before?
We did that as a fun game, not as a bracket.
Yeah.
I'm
But
saying
no, that could be a good bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone. Have your Shatleys out there, your fucking, I don't know.
Well, what are we doing with the divisional round thing? Are we picking the teams?
Yeah, we think we're gonna win and the X Factor.
Yeah, so we'll just have the little team logos come up underneath our thing.
Okay.
We'll win what game.
Yeah. So we're
It's like
already
we do our
talking about it. Bills, Chiefs. Austin, you obviously think the Bills are gonna win. Huffy, I assume you do too. Who are your guys' X factors in the game? You can pick one.
I mean, in my opinion, the X factor for that game, oh man, I think it's got to be Josh Allen, because I think if Josh Allen plays even decently well, I think that we can keep up with the Chiefs, because I think our defense is better than the Chiefs' defense is. Like, I think our pass defense is way better. So I think Josh Allen, if he can get things cooking against those corners. I mean, we saw what the Bengals did to the Chiefs a couple weeks ago. I think it was the last game of the season where Jamar Chase had like 300 yards or whatever. I think if we could get one of those games going, then we could definitely pull out the dub.
Okay.
See, my X factor is Devin Singletary. Our offense has like been a lot more effective when it's a little bit more balanced. I'm not saying he needs 25 carries, but ever since he started getting more than 10 carries a game, we have started scoring a lot of points.
And some of that's because of big Ryan Bates switching over from back center to left guard.
Of course. Yeah. Future pro Hall of Famer Ryan Bates.
Also, our hammer of a fullback, Reggie Gilliam, has been getting some more snaps.
Yeah. I hope it's a high scoring game, though. I'd love to watch Patrick and Josh battle it out Sunday night. I think this game actually starts early. I don't think it's an 8:30 game. It's like a 6:30 game.
Yes,
Yeah.
4:30 in my territory.
Yeah, it's actually 5:30 here. But
Yeah, I think Bills are going to win this one too. And it's definitely going to be some high-flying fun for sure.
But Jake, who's the X factor? Who takes the Bills over the edge for you?
See, I think what's going to happen, they're going to try to spread the defense out a little bit, right? Perfect opening for Dawson Knox to be catching those little, like, ooh, forgot about me. And then like, all right, fine, we're going to man up. And then that'll free up fucking Stephon Diggs.
and Gabe Davis.
And yeah.
I hope it's Cole Beasley. I hope Cole Beasley has like 19 catches. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I think my X factor is going to be Dawson Knox. They're going to forget about him, adjust, and then everyone else can strike.
Well, I hate to burst all three of your guys' bubbles here, but the Chiefs are going to win this game, sadly for you. I want to see the Bills get in too. You know, it's been like the past 2 years. They've been knocking at the door, but I think it's just going to stay closed again this year. And the X factor, it's their rookie linebacker selection, Nick Bolton. He's going to go off, and he's going to be blowing up Devin Singletary, and he's going to be hitting Josh Allen, not letting him run around like a gazelle.
I don't know about that, Hunter.
Well, we'll see. You know, in about 48 hours time or whatever, when we play back this tape on Sports Center, because I'm right and you guys are wrong.
On Sports Center, they'll show the clip of Josh Allen hurdling Nick Bolton while running for 45 yards.
I think it'll be Josh Allen trying to hurdle Nick Bolton, but Nick Bolton blows him up, and Josh Allen, upon re-entry back to earth, pops both ACLs.
No. I will not. I do not receive that, first of all. And also, Josh Allen has never failed on a hurdle attempt. He's 100%.
Yeah. Okay. You
Four
want
for
that?
four.
You want that broadcaster's curse out there right now?
Listen, it's not a broadcaster's curse if it's filmed days in advance.
Okay. I can just see it right now. He also does a somersault. He's flipping. It looks like it's going to be graceful. And then just boom, knees explode.
Listen, Hunter, I've seen Josh land in some awkward positions that I thought he was done for the season. He always pops right back up. Right.
Yeah, except
So
this time.
Who's your X
He
factor?
doesn't brace for the crash.
What, Jake?
Who's your X factor?
It's
Nick-
Nick Bolton.
And Nick Bolton is going to have to step up because I heard Willie Gay was arrested.
Well, what game do you guys want to talk about next?
Why don't we go in order and go? Well, actually, we're going backwards.
Yeah, probably not in order.
Why don't we go with the Rams Buccaneers?
Okay. I'll go first because I went last. I'm going to say the Rams are going to win this one. That's not necessarily what I really think, but I hope it's what happens because I want the Buccaneers to be done so Byron Leftwich can become the Jaguars head coach. And if the Buccaneers go to the Super Bowl, that's just going to take way too long. And then they're going to hire Matt Eberflus, and I'm going to be sad. So I think the Rams are going to win this one. And the X factor is going to be a healthy, newly minted, fresh Achilles Cam Akers.
Cam Akers has been looking really fucking good.
Yeah.
I tried to trade for him, but Bull wouldn't let me.
Oh, he wouldn't.
Yeah. Bull's not letting him go.
He's keeping Cam over DK.
Yeah. All right. Huff, who's your winner in your X factor?
Are you guys keeping track of these predictions so you can tally them up for the record?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to disagree with Hunter here, but that's because I can never bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. Going with the Buccaneers. I think, my X factor is Tom Brady. I'm just not going to
Yeah.
bet against Tom Brady. It's not going to happen. I'll never do it. I think Matt Stafford's going to throw a pick six. He threw a bunch of them to end the season. I think he's going to get rattled. They're going to try and throw their way out of it, and it's just going to go south.
Pick in the last game, that's for sure.
That's true. Oh, Odell looks so good. It is a shame what the Browns did to Odell. I'm so glad he's somewhere with a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Some teams should honestly hire his dad as a GM at this point because that man broke down the film and got him put in probably the best situation possible.
Yeah.
But, Huff, I like your pick there because when I look at these two games, the only thing that separates the Bucs from the Rams is Tom Brady and not throwing a pick. But I think that the X factor will be Aaron Donald, and I think the Rams are going to win. And I think Aaron Donald, if you can get interior pressure on Tom Brady, and Tristan Wirfs is snapped up, and I think Ryan Jensen's snapped up, but they're both probably going to try to play. And if he can get in there fast and fucking Jalen Ramsey is covering Mike Evans, then I think the Rams can win the game. As long as Stafford doesn't throw a bunch of picks.
Yeah, I think
Von Miller looks good.
Yeah,
I think Rams are going to win as well. But I think my X factor is going to be Jalen Ramsey because picks are going to be the key to winning this game. So
he's just going to be following Mike Evans all game. Mike Evans is going to be like 3 for 57 or something. But it's going to be an important 57.
Yeah. Mike Evans only catches in big moments.
Yeah. But I will say, I just put it out into the universe because I want the Bucs to be out because of Byron Leftwich. If I was really doing this, I would say the Bucs would win because of playoff Lenny.
You want Byron Leftwich for the Jaguars, though?
Right now, yes.
Over Dave Caldwell?
Dave Caldwell.
Over Brian Dable? Or no, you're talking about for the GM? Or
no,
what?
for the head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Caldwell hasn't been the GM for 2 years.
Yeah.
Trent Bulk, we need him out. But, yeah, I think playoff Lenny is going to be back in full force this year. All you got to do is just pound and pound and pound and pound, and then a quick one to Gronk, and you're good.
A lot of times Tom just checks it down to him, and he gets ahead of steam and hammers you for another 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lenny's good. It's weird that you just cut him for no reason. But, yeah. Bengals Titans. I think that's a weird playoff matchup.
Yeah.
Wouldn't I don't know, Bengals Chiefs, wouldn't that be super weird?
I mean, they just played last game of the season. The Bengals won.
Or I guess it couldn't be Bengals Chiefs. Bengals Packers. That'd just be such a weird Super Bowl.
Yeah, that would be strange.
Honestly, hearing those two together and seeing that color scheme, I don't think that's out of the cards.
Dude, orange and green is good. It's a good combo.
Halloween.
Yeah. But Bengals Titans, what do you guys think? Derrick Henry's back. Jamar Chase is on a tear. Joe Burrow looks like the best quarterback around.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals. I feel good. And it's, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are kind of a package deal. But I think it's going to be Jamar Chase. I think one of his strengths is getting the yak. So, and that's obviously important. I'm going Bengals.
See, I'm a big fan of the Bengals, and I hope they're going to be good for a long time. That team is swaggy as hell. But I'm going to go with the Titans here. I think Derrick Henry coming back, being super rested, 2 months off, ready to just run through faces. I think their offense is going to be super balanced. I would not be shocked to see him have 30 carries. They're not going to pitch count him at all. He's going to be running through people's faces.
Yeah. I believe Ian Rappaport said earlier today that he's healthier at this point than he would have been if he never got hurt.
Well,
because he had more carries by week 8 than Zeke and Chubb had all year, basically. But do you want to go, Hunter, or do you want me to go?
No, I can go. So I by no means want the Titans to win, at all. I would love to see the Bengals win, but I do think the Titans are going to win this one. I think the Bengals are like the young, hot, cool guys. Joe Burrow's smoking the cigar. He's slinging it. He's Joe Cool. He's having a good time.
Fancy glasses on.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, tame Tannehill is just going to come on in, hit everybody who he needs to hit, hand it off to Derek when he needs to, and I think the Titans are going to take it. And the MVP or the X factor for the Titans is going to be Kevin Byard because he's going to pick off Joe Burrow a bunch.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, oh, you want to shoot it to Jamar Chase every play? Boop.
Psych.
Boop. Yeah.
I'm going to pop this image in because this is what the interview where you saw. I'll just put it right underneath league happenings. Joe Burrow's glasses reminded me of this Will Ferrell and the tiny cell phone skit.
Where's that? Oh.
It's in the league happenings.
It's I think Jimmy Fallon's in that skit as well, but he has this tiny little cell phone. He's like, and then he just like talks on it. It's the first thing I saw his glasses. I was like, oh my god, it's fucking hilarious.
Joe Burrow just thought those were cool.
It's what he said from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I think I agree with you, Hunter. I think the Titans are going to win this game. I think the Bengals are a good team, and this might be like they have no playoff experience really. So I think they'll get smacked around. They'll come back stronger next year. But I think the X factor in this game is going to be big Jeffrey Simmons. I think he's going up against the Bengals O-line. He's probably going to, out physical the shit out of him, get in Joe Burrow's face, crunch him down a few times, stuff. Mixing on an important 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1.
Bengals O-line is super stinky. I'm pretty sure Joe Burrow is like the most pressured quarterback.
No, Josh Allen was the most pressured quarterback.
I think they might have been saying that Joe Burrow was the most peer pressured quarterback to do drugs and alcohol.
Maybe he was the most sacked then.
Matt Ryan was the most sacked. But Joe Burrow is like top 3, I think, for all those categories.
He's number 3. He has 51 sacks.
Yeah.
He can just, wiggle around and get out of those situations.
Yeah. But he's one good hit away from another ACL surgery, I feel like.
Just like Josh Allen first.
Hunter, who's your X factor?
Kevin Byard.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huffy, who you got?
For the final matchup, I think
I'm
going to have
Titans. I didn't type it in.
I didn't hear what you said. What?
For the Titans game, I didn't hear you. I didn't type it in.
Oh, Derrick Henry for sure.
Okay.
He's running for $150.
Whoa.
If Derrick Henry does get going, that's just such a demoralizing thing.
Yeah, he's going to have 70 through the first 3 quarters, and then the 4th quarter, he's just every single hand, every hand.
First down, the clock's run.
Especially if Larry Ogunjobi can't play.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think he's out.
Oh, yeah, they only have like 2 healthy defensive tackles. They can't rotate anyone in.
That big White's going to play, though.
There's a stat or something that Mike Vrabel does not lose games that he's had more than 8 days to prepare for, something like that.
It's a weird stat.
Yeah. Well, it's just like Andy Reid after a bye week. He's like unstoppable after he has a bye week. So some coaches, they are good at preparing for the other team.
It's all about preparation.
Yeah.
And they say if you're nervous, you weren't prepared enough.
But what are you guys thinking about the 49ers-Packers game? Do you think either of them are prepared for each other?
Yeah. So I'd love to see the 49ers win this one. I think the 49ers are like a really, really fun team. But I think Aaron Rodgers is just going to Aaron Rodgers, and we're probably going to see another Bucs-Packers championship. So I think Packers are going to win this one, and Aaron Rodgers is obviously going to be the X factor.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I agree. I'm in the same mindset as you, Hunter.
Yeah. Although I will say, for most of the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers looks pretty good. But that last game, when he gets to the championship, he seems to have like the James Harden effect, where he just like gets high before the game and then doesn't play very.
Well, I mean, they got a nice little week off. They're cold chilling. I think he's going to be good. He's just cracking some beers right now, getting ready mentally.
Oh, no, I'm saying this game, I think he'll be lights out, but the next one, guarantee you he shits the bed.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's facing, according to you chose the Rams. And if he's facing the Rams, I like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Sure, me too. But IRL, I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to manipulate the universe, pull the strings.
What some people are manifesting now. That's the cool hip thing to do is manifest.
Oh, yeah, I'll put it on my vision board.
Yeah. And well, make sure you watch The Secret first, and then
I have. Yeah, it's the
you have to
law of
rewatch
attraction.
it. The Secret, it has a shelf life. You have to re-up on The Secret every time.
Bobby Borgia told me to watch The Secret.
Hey,
And he knows
well,
real magic.
Let me tell you something. I think Aaron Rodgers has the Super Bowl on his vision board. I think he's been manifesting it all off season, all regular season, all playoffs. I like him in this game. I think they're going to dominate. I think Nick Bosa just cleared concussion protocol, so he will be back, and I think he's going to be disruptive. But I like Packers to not only win this game, but to win the Super Bowl.
Huffy, you could be on like Good Morning Football with these retorts. You're really hitting us with them.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're like a real Kyle Brandt. Whoa!
I'm writing notes down.
You guys just saw a wavelength happen in real life.
Yeah. But speaking of Kyle Brandt, I think that the Packers are going to win this one. And I think the Packers, they have kind of a mediocre run defense, but teams can't run on them because Aaron Rodgers builds up such a big lead. But the 49ers are going to stick to the run the whole time because Jimmy Garoppolo is ass, and that's their whole offense is Debo running, Juszczyk blocking, Kittle blocking, Mitchell running it. So I think the X factor of this game is Devondre Campbell for the Green Bay Packers, their middle linebacker, because he's going to have to cover Kittle, he's going to have to tackle Mitchell, and he's going to have to keep the middle of the field secure and get to Debo on the edge.
Jimmy Garoppolo isn't ass. He's like Kirk Cousins.
You can type it.
I'd put him in a tier below Kirk Cousins.
No.
He's like a young Kirk Cousins who hasn't got the mental stamina that Kirk Cousins has. Kirk Cousins once said he would die on the field, right?
No, I think he meant that as like a health thing. He's like, I legitimately might die out here.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with the Twitter account that only posts pictures of Kirk Cousins that looks like he's got a dump truck of an ass?
Can't say I do.
It's very funny. But Jake, what do you? You think Packers, Aaron Rodgers?
Austin, you can type in that X Factor name. I didn't pick up a little audio drop on my end. Oh, and you're in the wrong spot.
Oh, I'm trying with my left hand here.
Austin, alongside Devondre Campbell, Rasul Douglas too seems to pop up at really important times during the game too.
He's been a nice pickup for the Packers this year.
What about Rashawn Jerry?
The Gary Meister? I think he's decent, but I think Big Trent Williams will probably put him on the ass more times than he'll make a play.
So our second year at Cooperstown, I think it was our second year, there was a girl who looked exactly like Rashawn Gary.
Didn't she used to hang out with a girl who looked like LeVar Arrington?
No, but I knew a girl who looked like LeVar Arrington. She,
Didn't we also one time seen Mike Iupati?
Yeah, Mike Iupati. We saw him at a reading event for Siobhan Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get into the next segment, you want to explain your new artwork on the wall?
Yeah, sure. But I also want to say, also in Cooperstown, the second year we had the girl who looked like Rashawn Gary. The first year, though, we had a girl there who looked exactly like Victor Oladipo.
Victor Oladipo. That's a name I haven't heard in many years.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. But
oh my God, I just looked up his face and I know the girl you're talking about.
I told you, I can put a face to a face, Jay. It's not my only talent, but it is my best talent.
And so when you just type in Victor Oladipo, the first question, and people also ask, does Victor Oladipo have a deaf sister? So quite the
I don't
First
think this
question.
girl was deaf, but yeah. Oh,
You
she
came
looks
in the second grade.
exactly like Vic
Yeah,
Ray.
that's the face expression too, not just the structure.
Yep. But we haven't talked about that before. Like we didn't go over the story at all.
Not on here, no.
I figured we would have. That was like a pretty interesting thing. So
You know, send me the picks.
what?
Well, send me the picks so I can pop them in.
Okay. You already have the picks.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Yeah. But either way, as our loyal viewers know, I recently moved to Jacksonville, Florida. Before I moved, I was conversing with Jaguars great Jimmy Smith on Twitter, and he was selling jerseys and they were signed. He was selling them for like $150. So I was like, I'll give it a try, whatever. That's like the price of a jersey. I'll do it. So I DM him. He's talking to me. I sent him a Cash App, a little shady, but whatever. Months go by. I'm talking to this dude and he's like, oh, it's on the way, blah, blah, blah. Nothing's happening. Thinking that Jimmy Smith is just, he fucked me or something. Finally, I'm in Jacksonville. Send him a message. I'm like, hey, what's up with those jerseys? He's like, oh, sorry, I haven't gotten back to you. The first load I got were all fake. They were from China. I just went to the stadium, just got new ones. Tell me where to ship it and I'll ship it to you. And I was like, oh, well, I actually live in Jacksonville right now. Like I could just pick it up. So he's like, okay, here's my number. Call me. So Jimmy Smith just gives me his phone number and I call him and I'm like, hello. And he's like, hey, what's up? It's Jimmy Smith. So we figure out a spot to meet. I go meet him at the spot after work, like say hi, what's up, shake his hand, and he fucking gives me the jersey. And the bag says, Merry Christmas, thank you. And the jersey has all of his like stats and accolades and whatnot. But yeah, it was just real interesting because I just met the dude like in front of a house and he just handed it to me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Jimmy Smith, certified cool dude and friend of the podcast.
Yeah. We
Nice.
should get him on sometime.
Yeah, we
Hit him up.
probably could. But I do think that there's a good chance that if he's not the wide receiver coach of the Jaguars this year, he will be a part of the staff somehow.
Nice.
Because, yeah.
Maybe just unprompted, just send him the Zoom link.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what the fuck is this? Opens it up. And like, hey! He's like, what?
Welcome to the Pro Football Focus podcast.
To be honest,
Special guest, Jimmy Smith. He's like, wait, what the fuck is this?
yeah, we could probably like trick him into making it seem like it was a bigger deal than it was. Like we had more than a follower.
Yeah.
But we won't do that.
Everyone calling
Nice...
now, and then we have a bunch of phone sounds play, like, whoa, blow up the line.
So busy.
We'll go to a caller. Bowl in North Dakota.
I mean,
question for Jimmy.
Yeah. But no, it was a cool story. He was a cool dude.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, he seemed like a very nice guy.
Yeah. And just recently got her framed up, displayed her in the living room.
Nice.
Yep.
It's a girl jersey.
What?
You said her.
Oh.
Well,
It just so
gender
viewers know, it is a men's jersey.
Oh, okay. Hunter's not a woman, okay? Don't even fucking think it for a second.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not against that, but I don't want y'all to think I'm on that freak shit.
Oh. Damn. I wish we had like quotes from Hunter written down somewhere. Pennsylvania Hunter versus Florida Hunter. They're two different people.
You guys don't understand. Like, it wasn't a move to Florida thing. It was me realizing, like, saying more inflammatory stuff will blow us up faster. That's all it is.
Or maybe it'll literally blow us up like the Death Star.
I mean, that we'd get talked about more than we do now. So,
hey, true.
Podcast blown up by the Death Star, that would get talked about. They would talk about that on like Gizmodo or Tech Radar.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Tech Radar. We could get on that shit.
So I ever heard of it. So they're
You
just
never heard of Tech Radar? But either way, moving on. There are 8 head coaching vacancies in the NFL. The Jags, the Vikings, the Bears, the Giants, the Texans, the Dolphins, the Raiders, and the Broncos. So we'll run through these real quick. You know what actually might be fun? Just hot on the spot idea. Before we get to who is going to coach these people, Do you guys want to go through like 8 to 1, the least ideal to the most ideal job?
I like that idea.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
Let's do. Let's just go around.
Take it around town?
People
Okay.
pick 7, and Austin will pick 6, and
Oh.
Can someone list all the teams real quick?
Yeah. So you got the Jags, Huffy.
Yeah.
You got the Vikings.
Yeah.
The Bears.
Mhm.
The Giants. The
Mhm.
Texans. The Dolphins. The Raiders. And the Broncos.
Okay.
All right. So 8. What do you guys think is the worst, like, and take everything into consideration? Current roster, draft picks, like money in free agency, state income tax, all that stuff.
For me,
I don't think we should go around. I think we should all just discuss.
If I'm being honest, the worst situation.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Raiders.
Oh, I don't think it's the Raiders.
I think it's the Raiders because one, I think like being in Las Vegas, that's obviously had a negative effect on their players. And I think that Mark Davis is a terrible owner, and he's going to try to get like an outlandish coach when they really need like a soft voice of reason. Like whoever that guy was, that was the special teams guy that took over, he kept that team under control pretty well. Like I feel like Mark Davis is going to try to get like some hot-headed coach. It's all going to implode on them. And then you got Derek Carr on a big contract, and like, what are you going to do with Derek Carr?
Yeah. Real quick, when we figure out who is 8, that's when we should predict the head coach, who we think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rich Bisaccia, the locker room for Las Vegas really liked Rich Bisaccia too. Yeah. He did pretty well. They made the playoffs with him.
I don't know if I think the Raiders are the worst, and for that matter, I don't think that they're really close to the worst. I think the Texans are probably the worst.
Yeah. You can definitely make that argument.
I think just like team culture, bad. There's not really any like shining good spots about the roster besides Deshaun, but he's going to go. So really the only thing you're looking at with the Texans is like
country music.
Yeah, country music. And you have what you're going to get for Deshaun, which seems to be like decreasing in value as time goes on. And what just happened with the coach, like fired after a season, like short leash, you don't know what's happening with your job. Personally, I think the Texans is the worst job.
Yeah, you can easily, if they're not worse, they're second to worst because like everything you just said, but I think they are a pretty clean slate to build off of. Like they don't have, the cap isn't too crazy, I don't think. Like they got Davis Mills, who is pretty solid rookie. Like you could keep him on a rookie contract for a while, or you could draft another guy. And I think it's easy to attract free agents to Houston just off of the tax incentives alone.
I don't know what their money situation looks like, but it can't be good.
I don't know.
But do you guys all comfortable with saying Texans 8?
Yeah. I would like to say Texans 8.
All right. And who do you think the coach is going to be?
I can't participate in that. I don't know fucking dick from balls when it comes to coaches.
Okay, Jake doesn't.
Josh McCown.
It really might be Josh McCown.
I like the interview, but I don't think it's going to be Josh McCown. There's no way.
They've been saying it since the beginning of the year, like this is a 1-year spot for David Culley just so they can bring in Josh McCown. Listen, when they traded DeAndre Hopkins for a 28-year-old running back, I was like, oh, that's not true. And then it was true. So I think they're just going to make another bad decision.
I think it's going to be Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo would make sense. I think it's going to be Brian Flores. I think whoever it's going to be is going to be a guy who was in New England before, because Jack Easterby was in New England and he makes all his decisions. Like they brought in Bill O'Brien for head coach and gave him like complete and utter power just because he was in New England with Jack Easterby. And then I also think like, then they got like Rex Burkhead and stuff from like, it's just going to be weird, mix and match failed ex-New England people. But I think if they do get Brian Flores, he'd be a good fit.
Let me ask you this. If the Texans get a good return, let's say Deshaun Watson is cleared of all charges and is available for next year, gets traded. If they get a huge haul, like 3 first-round picks, do you still think that they are the worst team out of this 8?
They might jump up like 1, but I think just like the roster is bad enough to warrant them being the worst. Because it's just like all like there isn't. I can't name a superstar on the Texans.
Right.
Yeah. Or even like a young dude who looks like he's going to be good soon.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So it's like a complete rebuild. Like someone like the Jags, they're a stinky roster. But I think we can all name at least like 4 young dudes who have potential.
I got the cap up. If you guys want to know any of the cap situation.
What's the Texans cap looking like?
The Texans are middle of the pack. They're 15th overall. They got 23 million.
Yeah. So this year you can't even do anything. You have to cut your old dudes, be shitty with Davis Mills, and have
They didn't have the worst record on this list, and they are as bad as they are, and didn't even play their number 1 quarterback, and are going to get a huge haul for it. That's why I'm shocked that they're 8.
Yeah, but I don't think you can really put like record into this because I think that's like a lot of who they were playing and stuff, and it just. I think this list is all based on like potential and the pieces you have. Because a coach could come in there and take a team with a worse record and make them way better. And a bad team or a bad coach could do the opposite, you know?
I do agree with Huff, though, that Deshaun Watson's trade is the X factor with the Texans thing. Because you could get a big haul and you could flip that thing around. Like Bills got fucking Josh Allen, Tre'Davious White, and Tremaine Edmonds in like 2 years. And that completely changed the franchise. Like you just need cornerstone pieces.
But another thing, like you can have those first round picks, but you also have to hit on them.
You have to hit on them, and that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
I think Texans are 8. And for coach, do you want to say Flores or Mayo? I think Flores could be looking at other places.
I think he could too. I don't know, man.
Maybe we don't name the coach in these. We just rank them.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay. So who is 7? Because I still don't think it's the Raiders.
I don't think I think the Raiders are just the lowest out of all these teams, honestly. I think if you're going in that situation, that's a lot of fucking pressure. And then you're going to have a guy get a DUI at some point in the season. It's already happened twice. It happened twice this year, and they had a guy pointing a gun at a camera making death threats. Yeah. Like, you're going to have that, and it's the Raiders. So they're always drafting these type of guys.
I feel like that could have happened if they were in California.
Austin, what is the Giants salary cap situation?
The Giants, they are looking like, oh, for God's sake.
Because that's a bad situation. I know that they have star talent, but
I don't know, dude.
They can't afford a Toyota Camry, Huff. They're negative $5 million. Right?
Oh, geez.
Let me tell you something. That situation's not good. They have the 5th overall pick and the 7th overall pick, and I think they're going to try and trade for Russell Wilson. And I think it's going to backfire really badly. He's 34 going on 35. Yeah. They're going to have to pay him $40+ million. Their roster is not good. Saquon's played like 30 games in 3 years, and their offensive line is worse than Seattle.
This is what I think about the Giants, though. They just hired Bills assistant GM Joe Schoen today as their GM. So I think him and Daboll are probably a package deal. And I really do think Daboll is a good quarterback developer. And I think he will take Danny Dimes and make him a pretty good quarterback. But after looking at this cap space, and like Huff said, I think Saquon will probably have to be traded. Like, I think a lot of the guys besides Danny Dimes are probably going to have to be traded.
That stinks.
Kenny Golladay was a huge fucking mistake by them.
Didn't they pay him a lot of money?
They paid him a lot of money.
4 years, $72 million.
Oh, yeah. Gross.
They're fucked with him. Like, what do you do? No one's going to trade for that.
No, that sucks. So are we saying Giants 7 then?
I
Yeah,
agree.
maybe.
I concur.
After looking at the cap, you definitely got to look at the cap to consider this.
Cap's
'Cause
important.
the Raiders are 13th in cap. They got 27.6 million.
All right. So there is still one team that I think is a worse spot than the Raiders.
Now what's that?
Dolphins.
I think that's the Bears.
The Bears.
I know they have Justin Fields, and Justin Fields, like, he had some flashes, but he still didn't like do anything crazy. Like, I think some of the time, like, if you're battling with Andy Dalton all year, like, that's not a good sign.
Remember, Matt Nagy is the coach. Remember that.
For sure. But still, if Andy Dalton is keeping you on the bench, I think that's an issue. But my big problem with the Bears is they have a decent defense, but I think it's getting pretty old. And I think they're going to start moving some pieces around. All you really have on the offense is Justin Fields, and it's potential with Justin Fields. It's nothing for sure. But the worst thing about the Bears is I don't remember exactly what they gave up to get Justin Fields, but I don't think they have a first-round pick for a while.
They gave up 2 first rounds for him.
Okay, yeah. So I think the Bears are the next worst.
That's legitimate. And Chicago's cold.
It is cold, Jake.
Yeah.
That is a
The
fact.
Windy City.
Yeah.
And as you all know, wind can affect a football game.
Mm-hmm.
Sure can.
So are you guys cool with them being 6?
Cool.
I'm all right with that. I think the Raiders are worse. Or we are separated.
Huffy, what do you think? Do you think the Bears or the Raiders are a worse spot?
I honestly think the Bears. I just think Akeem Hicks is going on 33. Khalil Mack's going on 32. They have pieces like Roquan Smith. Like they have spots, but offensive line, again, not good. They're getting rid of Allen Robinson this offseason. I doubt they re-sign him. He's not going to want to re-sign there. Their best option is Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet. And I just think you're staring down the barrel of another 5 to 6 win season. And I think if the right guy goes into Las Vegas, like they made the playoffs this year. I think if the right guy goes in there, they can make the playoffs again. I like Derek Carr. I know a lot of people don't. I would never put him in like the top 5 or like the top 8, but I think he's definitely like borderline top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's either position 9 or 10.
Probably around there.
Interesting. All right. So I think this is where it gets kind of tough. What do you guys think? Who's at 4 for the most juiciest coaching opportunity?
I'd say it'd have to be between the Broncos and the Vikings.
Yeah, I feel both are very plain teams. There's not many like complete fucking game changers.
Yeah. I think
They're not a bad situation, but it's like it's kind of one of those things, you know?
Yeah.
The Broncos pick 9th and the Vikings pick 12th.
I think the Vikings are one of those teams where they're kind of solid all around, but their defense, I think, is also getting kind of old. But you do have like potentially the best wide receiver in football.
Yeah.
And then I really think like the Vikings are probably like a Kirk Cousins away from, or an upgrade from Kirk Cousins away from like winning pretty consistently.
But then you look at the Broncos and they got so many weapons on offense.
No, Broncos are the same way. They are literally like, if they had a competent quarterback, they would be super good.
Well, I mean, the times that Teddy Bridgewater is playing good, they typically won.
But
Actually,
how long was Teddy Bridgewater playing good for?
I think it was a solid like 4 games.
Here's another thing to think about. If you take the head coaching job as the Broncos, you're staring down Patty Mahomes and Justin Herbert 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And you got to play Derek Carr, who's top 10, according to Huff.
But I feel like
I said borderline.
their defense is pretty darn good, the Broncos. Yeah. So like if you had a good quarterback and you have the tight end and you have the wide receivers to put up points, if you have a quarterback who can get them the ball,
I'd rather be the Broncos than the Vikings. I think the Vikings should be this next spot.
Okay.
Because think about Patrick Surtain. He's going to be like Darrelle Revis. Like he's
he's good. He's real good.
he's fucking
But
amazing.
so are you saying that you think the Dolphins are more ideal than the Broncos?
The Dolphins have 3 first-round picks, right?
That is pretty cool. If
They are number 1 in cap space, $67.5 million. They have a rookie quarterback. Imagine if Tua actually is decent. You use all that cap space, you hit on some picks, you could make a fucking Super Bowl run. Like you could do pretty good with that team.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the number 4 spot here?
No, 4 is Vikings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
So I think
consider if you're coach of the Broncos, you can smoke Joni 365.
true.
And your players can too.
Yeah, and I mean, getting that mental stress out is part of putting 100% back in, you know?
Good with the Raiders and the Giants job too.
But is that the reason Drew Lock is such a dingleberry and he can't figure out
Maybe.
what he's doing?
I think so.
Drew Lock is a pants pooper.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I think he just maybe he just has like really dry skin. I don't know. It's pretty dry.
I don't think he does. His face always looks moist to me.
Maybe he used too much moisturizer.
But Huffy, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say I have Jacksonville at 3.
Okay.
I think they have the quarterback, but I just remember watching that game with you and looking down at the team on the field and going, "Oh, there's no hope for them."
Well,
And I think, yeah, I heard that name get popped out. Who was Tavon Austin's name get popped out? But they have Miles Jack, they have Josh Allen, like they have like 2 or 3 pieces on each side, but I think they're devoid of talent on every other spot, and they have a bad ownership and a bad coaching. Like I think they're gonna whiff on another coach. I really do. I think Shaw's gonna choose someone else.
And clearly Jackson DeVille is slipping too.
That's not true. Huffy, I agree with you as far as an on-field point of view, but looking at this as a place where you could potentially go as a head coach to create, like, lay your own blueprint and roll into success for the future, I think having the first overall pick in the draft, your choice of literally anybody you want. What do they have? Like the second or third most cap space?
They have the 3rd most cap space. They have $61 million.
Third most cap space. You have Trevor Lawrence, the goddamn saber-toothed tiger of the South.
Certainly didn't play like it this year.
He did the last game.
1 out of 17.
When he had to, he took the Colts and he stomped on their throat.
Yeah. And I think, Huffy, a lot of the stuff that you are bringing up, I think a lot of that had to do with Urban Meyer and the dysfunction of the team.
Right, but I don't think that roster gets better. I have 2 teams ahead of Jackson.
See, now Hunter's making a good point of coming to lay your own plan, your own rules, because Broncos, you definitely gotta kiss the John Elway ring.
Yeah. And John Elway is an asshat. He whiffs so many times. The only good decision he ever made was bringing in Peyton Manning. And now Peyton Manning is trying to take more ownership than John Elway. And Elway's getting
because the Broncos, like we said, I think they're a quarterback away, but you have a guy who's terrible at picking quarterbacks as the guy who's going to pick your next quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, who else to better pick the best Broncos quarterback than the best Broncos quarterback? Peyton Manning.
I feel pretty good being the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach, like going in there and you got Trevor's just sitting there. Like that's the hardest thing to find as a quarterback. You got one.
That last game proved it to me. Like Trevor's got the juice.
And he's like, another thing was he's thrown to nobody the whole season and he had no tight end and his run game was not there. Like
so his entire roster was not good. His entire roster was bad.
What I would do, I would honestly just do what the Bengals did and just load up a couple picks. All you need is one sick ass receiver. And I feel like it's not that easy to miss on receivers. Like I feel like nowadays they're just so ready because they've been fucking running routes at these camps since they're 6 years old. You just know who's like, you knew Justin Jefferson was going to be good. Like you knew Jamar Chase was going to be good.
Philly didn't.
Philly didn't. Everyone knew they were dumbasses for taking Jalen Reagor.
Huffy, another thing, you're saying the roster has a ton of holes. It absolutely does. But with the third most cap space and a ton of picks in the draft, I think you can fill a lot of those holes. And with the Jags, I think if we get the right coach in there, new GM, you're going to see a Peyton Manning style second season.
I think
Probably a worst to first scenario.
I think the Jags were underperforming because of Urban Meyer, because I think when they had something personal on the line, like when they played Buffalo, we saw a whole different Jacksonville team. And when they played the Colts on the last game of the season, like they just flashed their physicality as a defense, like that. It's looked half-ass half the season, but maybe they didn't even give a fuck. Like imagine Urban Meyer's not even flying home with you guys, not coaching you up, and he's screaming at the coaches, "Oh, you don't got any of these? You don't got any rings?" Like that was absurd.
Prove to me.
Kicking the kicker, like Jesus.
So
this personally, is when I think.
Oh, go ahead.
This is when I think it comes down to what type of coach do you want to be? Like, do you want to be a guy that can come in and install your scheme and you can go? Or do you want to be a coach that comes into a situation where it's like, hey, nothing's here, but now I have to build the roster and be in charge of trying to develop incredibly young players. And I know for the first year and perhaps the second year, it's going to be a rough go. So I really got to hit the third year. So I think it's like personal preference.
Potentially not, though. The AFC South is by far and away the easiest division in football.
True.
Yeah.
But me personally, I would say Broncos 3, Jags 2, just because there are like the Broncos are a better team, but I think the resources and what you could do with the Jags would be a more ideal spot.
And winter.
Yeah,
and also state income tax. Like you're gonna be making all your money in Jacksonville.
Yeah. I'd put the Broncos 3, Jags 2, Dolphins 1.
Yeah, I can get down with that. Dolphins do have a lot of pieces, and like Flores shouldn't even have been fired, but that was just like a front office.
I don't understand that still.
Are the Jaguars keeping are they keeping Trent Baalke?
So here's the deal with that, Huffy. Apparently what's currently going on is the next head coach, whoever they choose, is going to make the call. They're going to say, hey, I can work with Baalke, or hey, I can't work with Baalke. And the thing is with Baalke, like there's all these stories and stuff about him being like a backstabber in San Francisco and just like not a good drafter and all that. But take all the stuff that Urban Meyer did out. Everything that Trent Baalke did when he was GM this full year wasn't that bad. Like if you look
drafting
at the
a running
class,
back in the first round.
If you look at the draft class, Trevor Lawrence hit, ETN, NA, but hopefully a hit. Tyson Campbell,
running back in the first round, which goes against your code of ethics.
It sure does.
Especially when you have a top 10 running back. Yeah,
but he's Trevor Lawrence's best friend in real life, and he's going to be a good safety blanket for him.
Is that worth a first round pick?
Not
if he can be like Kadarius Toney, yeah, absolutely. Tyson Campbell, who I've talked a lot of shit on, but he turned it on at the end of the season. Walker Little was stepping in, and I think he graded out as like one of the league's best tackles when he started. And Andre Sisco, when he played, that was good. So that's 4 hits in the draft. And that's better than a lot of
I don't
Jags.
think you can say those are hits. Like, hey, this guy played okay one game. Like Andre Sisco doesn't start. Like I wouldn't say that's a hit. I'd say it's possible. Like how long
started like 3 games at the end of the season?
Yeah, but the starting 3 games, that's not, oh yeah, I hit on this pick and he's gonna be a guy going forward.
Also, think about the Jaguars were literally picking first at every round. Like the Bills and like other teams had to pick, like we had to take Greg Rousseau like damn near last, like 29th or something like that. And we hit on that. Like it's harder to hit those ones than it is the first one. Like you have all the players on the board to choose from.
No,
I wouldn't credit him too much.
Like CJ Henderson doesn't play for the Jaguars anymore, and he was last year's like 9th overall pick.
Trent Baalke didn't pick CJ Henderson.
How long has he been the GM?
Only last year was his full first year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying when it comes down to Baalke, like when you take everything Urban Meyer did away, everything Trent Baalke did this year wasn't that bad. He got a decent return for CJ Henderson, a guy who didn't want to play football and especially didn't want to play football there. We got a 3rd-round pick for him and a tight end who, when he was healthy, showed flashes. So
Yeah.
I think after looking at a team like Cleveland and you just go, yeah, a quarterback changes everything. And I think when you look at this list, like Texans aren't going to have one. Vikings, Kirk's not the guy. Justin Fields, maybe. Giants don't have one. Raiders, Broncos, no. Like Jacksonville is pretty much the only spot that has a guy, and Bears, maybe. And that's it out of all these teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I was saying was the head coach is going to decide if Balky stays or not.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking is going to be the coach?
Well, I really want the Bucs to lose so they can hire Byron Leftwich.
Leftwich.
But we'll see, because if they go to the Super Bowl, they'll probably try and make a decision before then and hire, like, I don't know.
Peter, you did predict that they will go to the Super Bowl. Granted, you also said the Patriots, and the Patriots are out.
Yeah, so I was already wrong. But I don't know. I think if the Buccaneers keep going, they're going to hire Eberflus.
Eberflus?
Yeah, but some good news. I've heard reports that Bill O'Brien is not really in the running. Like, that was kind of goose.
Oh, I thought you were.
I mean, there were like very strong reports that it was happening. So you got to get behind the team sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I think the Jaguars should hire Leslie Frazier.
I don't want Leslie Frazier.
Leslie's a calm voice of reason. He'll get the team together. He'll settle down the dumpster fire.
No,
will be firing.
I want Byron, and I want like Jim Caldwell or just some wise old person as GM who can come in, make all the decisions, and then Byron can just get buddy with Trevor Lawrence, be like, hey, Trevor, I was quarterback. I know what's up. How do you want to do this? Yeah. What's going to make you good? What's going to make us good? And then boom, playoffs. Yeah.
But I like that list.
Yeah. Pretty
so
good.
Yeah, in descending order or ascending order, we got the Texans, the Giants, the Bears, the Raiders, the Vikings, the Broncos, the Jags, and then finally the Dolphins as the most ideal landing spot.
Yeah, so good luck to all those teams.
I think Jim Harbaugh is going to coach the Raiders.
I think Jim Harbaugh is just using all these vacancies as leverage so that Michigan will pay him a lot more money because his contract's up.
No, he's going to go to the Raiders. You'll see.
If he goes to the Raiders, I guarantee you 5 guys get DUIs next year.
Dude, I don't think it's the city. I think it's just the toxicity that was happening there.
I imagine you get done with the game and it's fucking daytime outside. People are still going.
They are. The mascot is literally a pirate.
It's a fucking Raider.
Yeah.
Dude, but
John Gruden was the head coach.
John Gruden was the coach.
You can get into shit if you want to in any NFL city.
I don't know, but will anyone even hear about if you while out in Cleveland? The police probably pick you up. They're like, Baker, well, we got to get you back to the stadium. They probably take you right back. In Vegas, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like Philadelphia or Baltimore. I mean, places with bigger problems,
In Tampa Bay, if Tom Brady's getting sloppy on the town, they're fucking covering it up.
Yeah.
Like Vegas, the cops don't care there. They see
walking up to him with like a big nose and mustache with glasses.
Yeah.
Like
it's a little tipsy at the yacht boat party, and they have a guy like escorting him away.
Yeah. Come on, dude.
Yeah. But before we get to the game, the Nickelodeon games were back. That's fun. We love slime on the field. Who doesn't love slime?
Did you guys watch that broadcast or the regular one?
I didn't watch any of it.
I watched the regular one.
See, I watched the Nickelodeon one. And for children and for people who have never watched football, and like, I don't understand football. That's why I don't watch it. Yeah. Nickelodeon, great spot. Because they're explaining the most fundamental things. Like every penalty gets explained like it's for a 5-year-old. But it is funny because the announcers, like, every, I don't know, drive, they would have some kind of reference to Nickelodeon. And the one dude's like, this is after like breaking up like a tackle, just breaks tackle, then gets tackled by the next dude. You guys like, this guy's like stronger than Larry the Lobster. You know, he's a tough guy. And then like one dude was like running down the sideline and kind of like cut in a little bit, cut back out, like got an extra, 2-3 yards on a play that you thought was going to be no yards at all. And he's like, this guy right here, he's like Doodle Bob, just making something out of nothing. And I'm like, all right, these are just really fucking.
I appreciate that. That's fine.
He wrote down 100 of those before the game. It was just going down the list.
Guy would like insert SpongeBob thing, and kind of drop it.
Debo Samuel's like Cat Dog. He's just so versatile.
But you guys wish it was real slime they were getting shot with?
Oh, fuck yeah. That'd be sick.
And it is funny after like all the wild shit at the ending with like the ref debacle and like an intense moment for the Cowboys, and they just like go to the Cowboys coach and it just has like slime on his head. It's just like
you got slime.
Everybody had slime hats, and it was just literally like a giant cum drop of green on their head, and then it was really funny.
I don't know how that end is a ref debacle. Dak tried to place the ball himself.
Yeah.
No, you totally cannot do that.
No.
But in the moment, everyone was like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
That ref was very far away.
Yeah.
I know it's not his fault, but he was very far away.
Yeah.
He sprinted like 25 yards, like, oh, no.
So, fun fact about the Nickelodeon broadcast, it was the most watched NFL wildcard game in 7 years.
On the Nickelodeon cast?
The Nickelodeon one, yeah.
Wow.
Those numbers aren't combined with the CBS numbers.
No.
You sure about that?
Yeah, look it up. It's just straight up numbers.
Look that shit up, dog.
Yeah.
No, but see, Slime Man, he was popping out of like every fucking left and right. Like, Slime Man, here he comes. And that's who we see in this picture right here is Slime Man. I will say, though, the weird thing, because they kept going back in time, like, this is kind of like this moment when this big-ass play happened. It was all like wild card weekend stuff. I was like, remember this play from like the 80s? But they still CGI'd Slime into
That's
the
funny.
80s.
Oh, my
like,
God.
What the fuck? Like, it was
They tried to do a little Book of Boba Fett action.
much, yeah. All the flashbacks were.
Episode 4 confused me. There was a point where I wasn't sure if it was the future or the past.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. Because, I mean, that's right where it meets up. It finally finishes for then the Mandalorian, and then.
No, dude. Guarantee you we're still going to be getting flashbacks next episode.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But it's they're pretty much there.
I don't know. And
also, I will say, the CGI, the Thundercat scene with all the gizmos, that was really.
Wait, so that was Thundercat?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny because I was talking to Austin about it and I was like, I don't like how they're trying to put like real world pop culture in Star Wars. I said there's a guy who looks like Thundercat. That's funny.
Yeah.
That is Thundercat, yes.
Oh my God.
But like all his gizmos and gadgets look kind of shitty.
Well,
But
dude,
I will say I don't think the Hutts are as bad as. I don't like the design of those like cyborg people bikes. Those look like shit.
Yeah, I was
those don't look like Star Wars, but the race itself with those bikes also looked bad. Like it was
when they were chasing that dude.
Yeah, because it was supposed to look high speed, but it looked like
It looked so slow. It looked so slow. Oh
it
my
looked like
God.
Paul Blart on a Segway.
Yeah,
It looks so Hutts though. The Hutts I think look fine.
I don't know. They look like Jabba and the Phantom Menace.
I think the little mouse thing in their hand looks fine. That they keep rolling around like.
But I've told Jake about this, but good show that you guys should all watch. Peacemaker with John Cena on HBO. It is the best new show I've seen in a very long time. It is hilarious.
Interesting.
Now, do we have to have seen Suicide Squad?
No, they even give you a little recap.
Nice. I mean, I have seen it. I liked it.
Well, so spoiler alert for the Suicide Squad. I thought that the Peacemaker show was a prequel. because of what happens at the end of that. It is not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Who'd have
So,
thunk?
yeah. So check it out. It's very good. But special surprise down here. This little nugget. I didn't know we had Packers merch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Huffy, are you not in the dock?
I am not in the dock.
Oh, then you can't see this succulent, looks like some sort of a dry fit material Under Armour shirt or hoodie.
Jake,
Hoodie. Yep, the hoodie.
this is real apparel owned by your dad?
Yeah, it just shipped today.
Wow.
So what is that? A triple X, double X?
I think it's 2X, yeah.
2X, nice. Make it roomy.
It's breathable.
It's this Packers hoodie, and it's like that light material. It's got like a honeycomb pattern up top. If you had that thing where you didn't like small dots and close clusters, you'd really hate this.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's also got some lightning on it. This is good Packers merch.
It also says they're the AFC North champions, so you can know that they beat the Lions, Vikings, and Bears.
Yeah.
And it goes with his Packers hat and his new Devontae Adams jersey.
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
He's swagged
Your
up.
dad is certainly prepared for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's been go Pack go the whole way.
Yeah.
He called it
We'd
from
love
the beginning of
to-
the season. He said Packers are going.
We'd love to see the new tat on the cast, or have him on the cast sometime. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure he would like to do that.
All right. Well, we kind of went through everything else.
Pretty much, yeah. So might as well get into the fun game of the week. And the fun game of the week is our top 3 disappointments of this season. We will go Huffy, Hunter, Austin, me.
Alrighty.
Oh, man. Listen, we were just talking about the Cowboys, but number 3 biggest disappointment of the 2021-2022 NFL season is the Dallas Cowboys. The year of the comeback for Dak, threw for 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns. Zeke ran for 1,000. They go 12-5, looking fantastic. And then they get smacked by the 49ers on a time management issue, which if you've been watching the Cowboys, especially under Mike McCarthy, is a persistent issue that has happened all year. The guy does not know when to call timeouts, does not know how to save time, can't run a 2-minute drive to save his life. They've only won 3 playoff games in 25 years. And honestly, I don't see it getting better because they are wildly talented and this just keeps happening over and over again.
Wow.
Yeah. And Mike McCarthy, I think he's had those problems when he was with the Packers too. I think he's just always kind of been a bad coach.
Yeah, I think since 1997, the Jaguars have won more playoff games than the Cowboys, and that's never a good stat. My number 3 is Laviska Chenault. Because he's supposed to be what Deebo Samuel is, but he's like slow and he can't catch.
Physically
So
or mentally?
what, Jake?
Physically or mentally? Slow.
I think just physically. I think he's a smart dude, but I think he led the team in drops this year. Bunch of times in like critical situations, ball just goes right through his hands. But it sucks with Laviska because the potential is there for him. Like when he has the ball, it takes more than one dude to bring him down. He's always trucking over a bunch of guys, and he does good stuff. But I just feel like he's going to be like the next Denard Shoelace Robinson, where he's got some flashes, but he can just never be a real NFL player.
Yeah. It's unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 3 on my list is going to be Jonnu Smith. And I think when Jonnu signed with the Patriots, we all thought he was going to be like Aaron Hernandez and Hunter Henry was going to be the guy. But I think Jonnu just kind of didn't do shit all season. And he like magically lost his hands. Like he can't catch anymore. He was making some like one-handed catches with the Titans. That was sick.
I think he's the third highest paid tight end in the NFL.
Yeah, and he's getting paid a bag too. But yeah, John, a big fat disappointment.
It's really hard to make stuff happen when big Hunter Henry is just sucking everything up.
Yeah.
When he's not injured.
All right, my number 3, the biggest disappointment is Ryan Fitzpatrick's injury.
Yeah.
Because I was really looking forward to seeing him with the Washington football team. I thought it was going to be a fun little team that got going on there, and then I just lost interest after he got injured. It was so early on in the season, I felt bad for him.
Yeah, I think they probably would have won the Super Bowl if he didn't get hurt.
Probably.
Do you think he's officially retired now that we saw him at the Bills game?
I think he said recently that he wouldn't take a backup job. And I don't think he's getting a starting job anytime soon.
That makes sense.
Maybe it's the other way. He's like, I will get paid to be third string and just show up in sweatpants and play the switch.
I don't know, dude. What if Fitzmagic is the Broncos' answer?
That'd be fun.
And
that would be fun.
I guarantee you, like, when he has a decent receiver, he makes them fucking great. Like,
the Broncos have 3 decent wide receivers and a good tight end. They have 2 really good wide receivers.
What Fitz did with Stevie Johnson and Brandon Marshall, and like just everywhere he goes, he just makes these guys so good. Like he force feeds you the ball because he just fucking sees his number 1 guy and he throws it. He doesn't give a fuck if it gets picked or not. So I think, he could be
that name. I thought of the South Park. Like, no, that's Stevie Johnson. Steamy Johnson just shit britches.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. All right, Huffy, what's your number 2? Drop a big number 2 on us.
Yeah.
This big number 2, biggest disappointment of the season is quarterbacks from the draft class.
Wow.
All of them were disappointing in every way. All of them underwhelming. Mac Jones was good for most of the season and then really fell off, especially in his playoff debut. Trey played in 4 games, threw the ball 70 times. Justin Fields, there were very few flashes outside of the preseason when he said the game was really slowing down for him. Zach Wilson is surrounded by a lack of talent. Trevor is deep in the woods in an organization that can really go. If they make a bad decision here, they're setting themselves back another 5 years, honestly. Davis Mills
by plenty of talent.
I just think he's not talented.
Jamison Crowder,
Jamison Crowder, that running back.
I just don't think any of them have shown blue chip talent this year, and I look forward to their number 2 years, and they're also number 2 on my list.
Huffy, watch Trevor Lawrence's highlights from the Colts game.
I mean, that's pretty much his highlights for the entire season, isn't it?
No, he's got more. But the Jaguars did put out a sick yearly highlight tape, and 4 of the 10 highlights were Jamal Agnew, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But
like dude Joel's, where it's just the same play with 10 different angles.
Yeah. Joel Penton or whatever. All right. So my number 2 is going to be Jonnu Smith, but I'm not going to say it because Austin did it. I want to really bad say Jerry Jeudy, but I know that Jerry Jeudy is really, really good, but it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Like there are plenty of games where Jerry Jeudy like breaks a dude's ankles and he's wide open, and then Drew Lock just throws the ball like 5 feet away from him.
His route running is debatably unmatched.
Yeah. Or
his change of direction.
He's really got that shimmy and the shake.
I thought Teddy Two Gloves was going to be tossing tutters to him from the 20, but it just wasn't happening. So for my number 2, I'm going to go with John Gruden because I like John Gruden a lot. Love the personality. Great dude for sound bites.
I just want to clip that part. I love John Gruden.
Yeah, great for sound bites. Was a real football dude. We all love Gruden grinders. But yeah, you find out this year that he's allegedly racist or whatever and a homophobe, and that's not cool.
As the top 10 allegedly Derek Carr once said, love the guy, hate the sin,
Yeah, no, and absolutely. But as far as things that disappointed me this year, John Gruden disappointed me.
Yeah, really let everyone down.
Yeah.
You see, that's how I feel about Lucifer himself. I love the guy, hate the sin.
Yeah.
He is a cool dude.
Yeah, for sure.
He wrote Fred's Got Slacks.
Yeah. Yeah. So
there's a guy named Fred and he's got a pair of slacks. Ooh, Fred's got slacks on the boulevard. Come on.
I was going to pivot off the John Gruden and say someone, but I think that's just not appropriate.
It's in poor taste.
So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Indianapolis Colts because
not just Carson Wentz in general.
No,
Carson's the problem. He sucks.
Actually, I'll go ahead and revise that. I'm just gonna.
Everybody else on the Colts is good. They had like 7 Pro Bowlers or something.
Yeah, but basically, I don't know how you have a running back run for 1,800 yards and like 18 touchdowns or something ridiculous. The line is blocking the shit out of people. They scored 5 touchdowns and bullied the Buffalo Bills. And like they have Darius Leonard. Their defense was top in all the statistical categories. And they have the quarterback who's just getting snapped up and throwing ridiculous picks and spraining both his ankles and just fucking everything up.
In any bad situation, Carson Wentz freaks out and he just tries to do like a shovel pass and it gets picked off.
Yeah.
I watched the Hard Knocks where they lost to the Jags, and every time Carson Wentz just makes a dookie butt mistake, he goes back to the line. He's like, "It's all right, guys. We still got it. Keep your heads up, guys. Keep your heads up."
I would be so pissed.
And nobody's talking to him.
Oh,
like you can tell that they are upset with Carson because he's literally throwing the game away.
My opinion on Carson Wentz is he has as much talent as like anyone like Josh Allen has. Like he's 6'5", he's 240, he's fast, he's got a cannon of an arm.
Balding.
But I think one of his issues is that he like playing football is kind of like a side job for him. Like I feel like he just likes hunting and like doing outdoor shit. Because if you look at all his shit, he's posting all this hunting stuff in the off season and stuff. And then he's like, "Oh, I got to go back to football." Goes out there, he's fumbling around, doesn't even know what the hell he's doing. Like Tom Brady is locked in year round. He's got the boys in the off season meeting together. Josh Allen's meeting with Diggs and they're fucking connecting. Like Dawson Knox is going to tight end camps and trying to get better. You never hear Carson Wentz working out with anyone in the off season, like working on his mechanics or anything.
Got a 12.
Tom Brady has a clock. Tom Brady has a clock in his weight room that counts down to when the Super Bowl is, and he starts after each Super Bowl. Speaking on Jonathan Taylor, though, the 3 wins leading up to the Jacksonville game, he ran the ball 32 times, 29 times, 27 times, all of them over 100 yards. They easily won all 3 games. They faced Jacksonville. They hand the ball off to him 15 times. And
it wasn't working, huh?
You keep running the ball. He's your entire offense.
But it wasn't working. They were stuffing the shit out of him.
Who's that big white defensive end with the arm tattoos?
Adam Gostis, the Aussie.
That motherfucker was stuffing the holes.
And Huffy says they're devoid of talent. We have Adam Gostis and Taven Bryan, Huffy.
Yeah, Taven.
He averaged 5 yards a carry against Jacksonville. Hand him the ball every play. Run the ball 50 times with him, honestly.
There's a play where Tyson Campbell one-on-one bullies Jonathan Taylor to the sideline.
All I'm saying is you have a better chance of ripping off a 70-yard touchdown, handing it to Jonathan Taylor than you do putting it in Carson Wentz's hands.
I don't know, throwing it to T.Y., he's like 45 or something.
He's old as hell. But if Carson Wentz drops back, there's 4 possibilities. He gets sacked. He throws a pick. He fucking runs around and gets his ankle snapped up. Or he throws a 13-yard pass to Michael Pittman Jr. There's no other outcome. Like, I've never seen him just launch
one. What about tossing some sweetness up to Jack Doyle?
The Doyle Meister is a 280-pound blocker, and he's just not the guy at tight end.
I hope Mo Alley Cox goes to the Jags.
Yeah. He's a real basketball guy.
Yeah, that's what I want my tight end to be. A real baller.
Yeah.
But Jake, what's your number 2?
My number 2, you briefly touched on it. Biggest disappointment is
Mo Alley Cox? Oh.
Yeah.
When I heard that we were getting him, I was like, this is it. I was like, we're just a solid ass quarterback away.
You heard you were getting Teddy Bridgewater and you said, this is it?
Listen, because my mentality was not, we need a fantastic quarterback. We just need a solid, consistent quarterback. I'm like, I think this is it. And I was just wrong,
He wears 2 gloves. He's a nerd.
I mean, still
does have a massive dong.
That's the only thing he has going for him is giant horse cock.
It works out for Chris Jones. So I don't see what's going on with Teddy, honestly.
Listen, he has all the weapons he needs. He has the tools.
There's certain things you can work out and grow, and then there's other things you're born with. And Teddy's got some of those things you're born with.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was a bit disappointed. Kind of like, really wish we would be, parading down the street with everyone,
Yeah.
But I will say, since so many people move here from all over the place, it's not like Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Baltimore. It's like everywhere you go, fans galore. It's like there's every fan of every team here. Like, there are more Broncos fans, obviously, but like,
is he a Jaguars fan?
I've seen people wear I saw a guy wear a Jags jersey in fucking PF Chang's.
That's crazy.
Like, I see more homeless people wearing Broncos stuff than I do normal people most of the time.
Do you remember what the PF Chang's guy was wearing? Who it was?
Oh, I don't remember.
Was it Blake Bortles?
No, but I was just like,
was it Jimmy Smith signing a jersey for him?
Was it one of those?
But wish I think if we had a little bit stronger fan base, like we all show up and we have a good time, but I think everyone has another team that they like to watch.
Too many Space Cadets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Forget the games even happen.
Honestly. Like Sunday. Get high? I don't know.
What? It's a Wednesday, actually. Oh.
No, I think there's too much stuff to do here because people are like, "Oh, it's the weekend. Let's go on a hike instead of watch the football game."
Okay, I don't know if I agree with that.
True.
My number 1 disappointment of the season. This was a hard one. I really went back and forth between 2 main ideas here, and I had to settle upon Derrick Henry getting injured. He rushed for the 5th most yards ever last season, was on a very similar pace this year, had about 1,000 yards through 8 games, was on pace for over 2,000 yards, 20-plus touchdowns. The back half of their season was super easy. They played Houston twice. They played Jacksonville. They played Pittsburgh, who has a terrible run defense. Miami. I thought there was a chance he breaks Eric Dickerson's rushing record. Oh, and then he just gets snapped up. I think he would have too. And then he just gets snapped up. And then everyone's talking about Jonathan Taylor being like a potential MVP. And it's like Derrick Henry was having a better year than him.
Yeah.
And I think if he breaks Eric Dickerson's record, I think he's MVP.
Eric Dickerson.
It's a shame it doesn't happen.
I do want to say that I did call Derrick Henry getting snapped up this year, and that's why I didn't take him in fantasy. And that's why I
did. I might have to go back in the vault and find that clip, but I absolutely did.
It's the curse of whatever 380 or whatever, however many carries. Every single time someone gets 380 carries, the next year they get snapped up.
Yeah. We definitely do need a playlist on YouTube of just like when we were right.
Yeah.
That can be an example. We were right again. Let's go back to episode 36.
Yeah. But that's a good one, Huffy. That would have been cool to see. Actually, no, it wouldn't have. Fuck Derrick Henry. That guy sucks. My number 1 disappointment this year, you guys probably can see it coming. Whole football world did. Yeah. Everybody said it was a bad idea. Shouldn't do it. Don't bring him here. He's a college coach. He's not going to do anything. But My number one disappointment is Urban Meyer. You guys thought I was going to say Tim Tebow, but it's Urban Meyer.
I did think you were going with Tebow.
Yeah, he really just kind of derailed everything and was kicking people and just lying to people for no reason, and just didn't make a whole lot of sense at all. So it really was just like a whole wasted year for no reason, because
Not flying back with his team on the team plane and then having to explain to his wife why he was finger banging a 25-year-old blonde
Yeah.
in his own bar.
There was no finger contact.
Pushing her away with the finger.
Hunter, we've seen the alternate angle.
Yes, and like Jake said, he was saying, "Get off me! I have a wife, woman."
Yeah. Get out of here. But
yeah,
Connor, one positive. I think this is the most the Jags were consistently in the news.
Oh, 110%.
So, I mean, brand awareness.
They're in the news every day for me.
They're in your heart.
Well, no, because I live here.
Oh, and you actually work for the news. Have you pitched the Jaggin Corner?
I don't pitch,
Oh.
but they have a
what?
team who does that stuff, and they talk about the Jags quite a bit.
You gotta weasel your way in. Give your 2 cents.
Oh, I'd give them 5 cents.
Oh, give them the whole $1.
Yeah. But
all right, Austin, get on us.
Well, number one on my list is a little bit personal for me because I took him number one in fantasy in my other league, and it's Christian McCaffrey. And basically, we found out that the boy's made out of glass, and he can't stay on the field. He can't stay healthy. And I think, honestly, the Panthers may have to trade him or something, because he's just every single play getting his ankle or his hamstring exploding, and it's just not good. And I really think I would have won both fantasy leagues this year if Christian McCaffrey did not get snapped up.
Did he go to Stanford?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where'd Andrew Luck go?
Stanford.
I see what you're doing here.
Seems like Stanford Snap City.
You know who else went to Stanford?
Right.
Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman, yeah. But
Well, now that Ben McAdoo is in Carolina, that offense is going to be revitalized. So
yeah, and just so Austin, I do have Chuba Hubbard in our dynasty league. If you're interested in trading for his backup,
I'll give
you sent me a trade. I declined it.
If either of you are interested, I do have the last pick in the draft. If you want to take Mr. Irrelevant, it's going to cost you a little pretty penny. I'll give it to you for like 50 free agent bucks.
Austin, you almost had me with that trade, by the way. You were very close.
I was trying to make some things happen.
If you would sweeten the pot a little bit, I accept it.
You guys see the trophy over there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I would go pick it up, but I'm crippled.
I think you need to hang some stuff on your walls there, Austin.
This is actually my girlfriend's apartment, so you're going to have to talk to her.
Get some decor.
Yeah. We're working on it.
Go to Home Decor store.
I did honestly think she'd have more wall stuff.
She's not a wall person.
Kind of disappointing. I got fucking wall burgers in here, dude. It's crazy.
Oh, I got
She's on the other side just crying. Stop insulting.
He's on the other end of the computer. I told you.
Oh, when we're done, I'll show you guys my wall. Did I show you my fireplace yet?
Yeah.
Hey,
you showed me after.
My number one. Okay, hold your fireplace.
Yeah.
Huffy, it looks way better since you were here last. You should come back.
Okay.
So my number one disappointment was just the blasphemy last week. The Patriots getting outright butt fucked by the Bills.
Such a good feeling.
Because it was just inexcusable.
Inexcusable.
If it was a close game and they lost, it's like, I get it. I predicted the Bills to win anyway. But when they literally grabbed their balls and plopped them on the table and said, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" It's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Too cocky.
Yeah.
I heard that Bill Belichick
on the balls,
Billy B went into the Bills locker room after the game and shook Josh Allen's hand, said, "We had no answers for you."
That's not true.
No, that's a true story.
That is true.
Yeah.
For Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh
No, I
Allen's
don't know if he went into the
everybody
locker
knows.
room. I thought he just said it to him after the game.
No, he doesn't do anything in public light. So he snuck into the locker room. Everyone's like, "Whoa, what's he doing in here?" And he said, "I just need to say hi to Josh."
I've
He just
heard
came
from
on. He's like, ah.
I've heard from Buffalo news circles that Josh Allen actually frequents floozies and hookers.
And I don't know if you saw, but Josh Allen is also afraid of bees.
Yeah.
Who's not?
I think both of those stories are fake news, but what's not fake news is the dildos, aka.
I mean,
dildos.
look at
These
the.
things definitely true.
He's on camera, going away like, oh, jeez. I hate bees.
Yeah. Are you trying to get stung? Like, what are you supposed to do?
He said the last time he got stung was when he was laying some pipe, not sexually, but
No, he did not say laying pipe. He said he was moving a drainage pipe. He did not say
Some
laying pipe.
misinformation.
this is what he was doing. He was laying the pipe.
No.
He got stung right on top of the head.
This is why we have no journalistic integrity.
Yeah, the only pipe Josh Allen lays is in Stephon Diggs or Dawson Knox's butt cheeks. We all know.
Mm-hmm.
That was not covered
You're
in
goddamn right.
And honestly, that's the way I like it if we keep winning games like that
Yeah,
last
for sure. Totally cool. We're not against it. We're just putting it out there.
Yeah.
or in there in some cases.
And it's 2022, so I don't know what you want to say.
Hey, if it was 1964, I'd be all for it as well.
Yeah, I mean, but 1963, unacceptable.
Yeah, if it was any year pre-1990, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good time for him to do this.
Probably want him to use like different drinking fountains.
Yeah. Maybe one for Gatorade, one for I don't know.
That's what I was
It's
saying.
a
One for
podcast.
Gatorade, one for water. I wasn't
Yeah.
talking about segregation, if that's what you guys were thinking.
I will say ever since Hunter's moved to Florida, it's just it's really coming out of him. Who's your guys' governor over there?
One time per podcast.
Dude, I found out
Yeah,
Ron
Sam.
DeSantis' wife, she finished her last round of chemo yesterday, I think. Ron DeSantis' wife is super hot.
Nice.
What happens when you're a Republican, Hunter? Come on, switch on over.
I don't like any of them, Austin. And I told you, it has nothing to do with Florida. I just realized that we needed to get more explosive to get more views. And that's all I'm trying to do for us. I think you guys should get a little more crazy.
Do
A
you
little more
think
radical.
be able to swing maybe getting a gator on the podcast as a guest?
Too cold here for Gators.
What?
Yep.
There's gators everywhere.
To see if we can hit some views.
Like 10 million views. Like, what's the
Well, I'm glad that'll get us some clicks, but until next time, find us on YouTube where you found us. Find us on Twitter at Pro Football Focus with 1L, and find us on Instagram, at Pro Football Focus.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time for episode 62. I don't know who that person is, but it's my lucky number, so that's pretty cool. We'll have to make it a good one. But until next time, I guess we'll see you later.
And don't forget, they're not testing for pussy juice.
Dick, where the fuck is the theme song? I hope you're putting that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
outro.
Let me get it.